humans and any potential non-humans watching. Gita Rose here. Thank you for tuning in. This week I am back to using my iPhone. I was lent a really beautiful DSLR camera that I still currently have no idea how to focus. But I will learn, and YouTube, watch out, I'm coming at you with high quality content. But for this now, I've been using the phone before and it's been fine, so path of least resistance, just gonna use the phone. So this week, I want to share with you all some dream encounters that I recently had with the hybrids. These are very much what I believe to be experiences, encounters, that also have really interesting messages that I feel are applicable regardless of whatever your belief systems may be. I think the majority of the people that are watching my videos are part of the hybrid clan, but I always like to find a practical message, an applicable message, regardless of who may be finding this video. So snuggle up, grab a little cup of tea if you like. Here's some story time. So I'm in a very dark but very beautiful circular room, almost like black granite, but it's a different type of material. I know that it has its own consciousness. I know that I've been here before, but I don't know where it is. And there's all of these pillars and archways and all of these different doors and gateways, these exits and entrances. I'm comfortable, I'm calm, there's a sense of home. It's all nice feelings. A hybrid then comes through one of the doorways, one of the arches. And I know that I've seen this being before. I have seen this being in the altered state multiple times with Bella. This being I know as Cyprus. He first came through when I was doing a session with Sharon McCormick, and he says that he has connections to SoundCloud and has connections to Ultimate Transformation, and there's a very specific department that Bella works with many different individuals from the soul stream or from this trickster archetype, that they are all working together to fulfill very specific forms of contact with us. So this being comes through this archway and he is super cool. Like, they always just look really cool to me. They look different perhaps than how we've seen the Is.a.Bell depicted. He kind of looks like Neo from The Matrix, but from my perspective, even more handsome. But yeah, like the black pants, this like cool black trench coat, but like Matrix meets Harry Potter, if you can kind of imagine that. White shirt, really beautiful chiseled features, a little bit taller than maybe we would think, 5'9", 5'10", black raven hair and bright green eyes. And a little bit more like muscular, like super cool, super attractive, like you could potentially pass this person on the street and not really, maybe sort of kind of notice it. Maybe that was part of the filter, but you could, I mean, the eyes were quite magnificent, and the color, the pallor of the skin was very pearly or iridescent, right? So I know that I'm to follow him, and we go through the same archway that he came through. And at this point, then I don't see him anymore. It was just a flash image of seeing him, and was very much like, yeah, I'm attracted to that. Like, you're cool and really good looking and a hybrid. I'm gonna follow you. Sure, this feels fun. So then we walk through the archway, this opening, and now we're in a very brightly lit white ship. I know I'm on the Karen, and it's a circular hallway, And I know before even walking it that it always connects, that it's a circular hallway that's used for these types of purposes, that's used for learning. I know that I'm on the Karen, and I know that where I've just come from, the reason why I recognized it, it was the space that I was in when I shared my experience in the last video about the altered state that I was in with Bashar and the crystal skull. This was the same room that I was in of the Council of 13, and there was 13 archways, 13 hallways, 13 gateways, 13 pillars, and this hybrid came through one of them. I now know I'm on a ship. So we start walking the hallway, and I can only see the hem of his coat. I'm like a dog, like following a bone, and I can, like, it's like I can always just barely keep up with him. And he's giving me all of this information: science, physics, history, mythology, like so much information, so much detailed, specific information. And I'm doing my best to like remember everything the hybrid's telling you, remember everything. I'm seeing all the perspective, like, whoa, even more than being in the channeling state, like I'm getting everything. And then we get back to the center point of where we started, and I forget. And he tells me, don't overcomplicate things. And then I forget that message. And then he starts doing the same walk, giving me the same amount of huge informational downloads, and I'm following him. I'm just barely able to keep up with him. All I can see is this hem of this billowing matrix, Sirius, no, Professor Snape kind of cloak, yeah. And getting all this information, we get back to the center point again. I forget all the information. He tells me, again, don't overcomplicate things. I forget that too. We keep going around in the circle. I get more information, get back to the center. I forget the information. He tells me yet again, don't overcomplicate things. I forget that. And we go through this dance multiple times. Then in a new now, we get back to the center point, and I remember, don't overcomplicate things. I remember that he's given me all of this information, and ultimately all of the information and all of the multiverses doesn't matter. It's all connected. It's all this beautiful circle that we're walking, that we're dancing, we're following and leading each other, and ultimately we don't need to overcomplicate things. And as soon as I remember and really fully embody that message, then we burst through this hallway, and now we're in the center room. We're in the center of this hallway, and I can see in a sense like where we've come from. And we're in this beautiful center room. And now I'm able to really see him. I'm able to see his eyes again and physically see this being. I then again have another awareness like, oh, I'm dreaming. I'm in this dream realm, like this is real. It's a place which we call the dream. And then I'm curious, I want to ask him like, well, who exactly are you? Like, are you Cyprus? Are you Sharon McCormick's son? Oh, what is this specific lineage and this department that you're a part of? Like, who are you? And then a hologram of Reuben Langdon appears. And the hybrid tells me yes to all of your questions. And also, for now's purpose, you can think of me as one of Reuben Langdon's sons. He says, Reuben has been in this facility before. He will be here again, so he is able to be here now. And again, I just had the realization in the dream of knowing that this was an experience, of knowing that this was an encounter. And then I'm waking back up into my bed in 2019, and I'm fighting for the information. I'm fighting to hold on to the thread of everything that he has just told me and to pull it through. And I'm fighting for all of the information, and all I can see is the image of this billowing trench coat on this stark white floor. And I know there's one specific message. I know there's like one really important bit of information that I was given, and I can't remember. And then I hear, like it's being whispered in my ear, don't overcomplicate things. And I wake up. The next dream, I am standing on a landing pad on top of a green, beautiful mountain with Ruben Langdon and Stephen Copeland and Bella and two male hybrids. This is the first time in this way that I've had this type of encounter with Bella. There's been a few very loose sensory encounters, a few times where I've been on the cairn and been able to explore it, knew that Bella was there, but it wasn't relevant that I see her, or knew that maybe I had just come from seeing her. But this was the first time where it was like a vivid experience. So we're standing on this landing pad, and they've just landed. And she makes a joke about the title of the film that Stephen and Ruben are making, and says, that's the title. From our perspective, we've known and loved that film for hundreds of years. She's making a joke. She's more so in our timeline, but I'm not going to get into the specifics of it all. There's a lot of details that don't matter. I'm not going to overcomplicate things. But it's a joke of validating this is the title of the film. And then she makes a joke again, apologizing, not really apologizing, but shedding light on the idea that from their reality, they're a bit late to the party. And Ruben and Steve are like, no, from our perspective, like, you are super early. And I'm in this altered state where I know that this is a dream. I know that this is an experience. I know that this is somewhat real, but I can't bring myself to look at her face. I can like look down, and I can like look up out of the corner of my eye and like see her eyes, but I can't fully bring myself to look at her. And I feel inferior because Ruben and Steve are like able to like rap with her. They're like making all these jokes, and I'm aware that like I can't even look at her. I couldn't even formulate words. And then she makes a pun, and I feel even worse because the pun once again, kind of like with this other hybrid in the other dream, goes in one ear and right out the other. Like I forget it. And I was like, oh, that was a good pun. Like that would have been so good, so fun to remember the pun to like use in my waking life. But like, oh, like I can't even look at her, let alone be a part of this conversation. And then Ruben and Steve and Bella and the hybrids behind her, which again, I think one was a Cyprus character and one is another one that I maybe haven't met yet. Cool though, like they're all super cool. They all send me like, no. What's important is that you're remembering this experience. What's important is that you're remembering this conversation, that you are going to send this to your third dimensional self. That's why you're kind of like in between the state, is because you're relaying the information to your personality construct so you can be sure that you remember it. And then I'm okay with it. I'm like, oh, right, yeah, thanks guys, like cool. I'm totally grounded in not being able to fully be part of the conversation and not feeling inadequate or not feeling bad about myself. And I can feel so much love from Bella, like so much unconditional love, and this mirror that I'm just getting strong enough to fully look into. And so I'm able to look at her clothes though. And she is wearing like this kind of, 1890s, like Age of Enlightenment kind of like traveling outfit. and I can see the fibers in it. It's wool, but it has a consciousness of its own. It's this charcoal wool, but I can see like the silver and the rainbow around it. And the garment itself and Bella start telepathically communicating with me that this garment was made in third density. It was made in our world, but it has spent centuries in fourth density. She gives me a download too, again, about how they're able to experience time in fourth density, that she's stationed more so in our exact time now, but because of their fluidity to be able to navigate the dream, they can experience a lot more time. She's like a Time Lord. They're like Doctor Who. So she sends me that again. Remember, don't overcomplicate things. Spoilers. I don't know. I'm just playing the trickster. I can see the fibers of the wool, and I know that it's been in fourth density, and I can see these fractals, and I can hear them. They have like a song, and then I can also in ways smell Bella. It's like almost like cedar and vanilla mixed with this very slight burning smell that I used to smell when I was a kid, that I think a lot of abductees experience as well. But it's mixed with this cedar and vanilla, and I'm hearing the fibers of her garment sing songs of the all that is, and seeing fractals like a dimethyltryptamine trip, because that's what I was doing in the dream. I've never done DMT here. I've never really had a psychedelic experience like that, but I was seeing what I would assume people see in those experiences. And it just softly set me back down in the bed, and I woke up remembering every little detail. And the message that I was left with was how important it is just that we're remembering it. Just that we're having these conversations, sharing our stories, having any experiences at all, any ideas like this coming through our imagination. It's contact. Any dreams that we're having. What is so profound is just the fact that we're remembering it. And that it's all connected. One step at a time. We're walking around the circle. We're remembering it. It's all unfolding. And we don't need to overcomplicate it. So those were two really profound experiences that I had this last week that I was excited to share with you all. And I trust that you got what you need, and that by me sharing allows more of you to remember more of your own contacts, and to know that when you're having dreams like this, it's contact. Have fun. And don't overcomplicate it. And we're remembering, and it's so exciting. So thank you so much to my new subscribers this week, and thank you to those of you who continue to support and encourage my journey thus far. I sincerely appreciate it. You can like if you like, and subscribe, and ding dong, ring the bell to get notifications on my new videos. Our minds may be different, our bodies may be different, but it is through our hearts that we know our spirits are one. Aloha!